Well, everybody, welcome back. We are still in Bravo Golf Sierra Foxtrot, ready for our fifth leg here today. We are tired. We've been up all night sorting out the gear issue that we had coming on into this landing. We had a solenoid issue on the front gear on the nose, and we managed to get that repaired. We reset the landing gear extension handle, and with that, I'm here. How are you all? Hope you're well. Welcome back in. How's the chat today? I hope you're all good. The weather here in the UK in South Wales at the moment is a little bit grim yet again. But where we are is lovely and clear. It should be around about 7 a.m. in the morning. We are running on the Southeast Asia server. If you want to jump on in to follow us on our journey, you can do. We will go through the flight plan shortly. It's not an extensive flight plan to be plugging in, so if anybody wishes to tag along, please feel free to do so. You're more than welcome. You can formation fly with me if you like. You can give me an armed escort in your fighter jets. However, I won't be traveling that fast. The aircraft that we're in, which is Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, has a ground speed of roughly around about 180 at top speed. We're going to be cruising at flight level 160 today. And with the winds that I've looked at in terms of the weather system, we're probably going to be expecting a roughly just off the nose around about 10 knots. 20 knot crosswinds are projected, not predicted, projected, and we should be getting ready to rock and roll. So let's head on into the aircraft and let's see where we are today. So the first thing I need to do, just to be on the safe side, we did have it in the shop. We can see here we all got repaired. The gears were all sorted out, so we should be all good to rock and roll. Now let's go into our configuration settings here. The wheel chocks are fine. They can stay on for now. Parking brake is on. Gear extension handle is down. You can see it just here, and I'm also verifying it on my own controls down here. Throttles are all back and off. Switches, oh, that switch there needs to come off. This is the state save enabled, not working properly. We'll go ahead and set barometric setting, which is done, and everything else should be all good to go. Right. Oh, that one there needs to come off as well. And anti-collision lights, no, it's not on my side. We'll turn that off. And beacon is off as well. That's all checked. So we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. Right, how do we, or where should we get this thing ready? So first we need to do is we need to make sure we've got our fuel for our journey, and our predicted, I say predicted because things can always change. However, our block fuel for today's flight is going to be 301 kilograms total. We're going to be traveling roughly around about 376 nautical miles. We may have to deviate from time to time. We've got a flight time of 2 hours and 44 minutes, so we shouldn't be landing too late for this leg. It's not as long as the leg to get here was, so we should be all ready to rock and roll there. We're taking 3 passengers, including pilot. We're going to be departing from runway 09, and we'll be going direct to Sierra Foxtrot, so that's going to be a right turn out. We'll then, once we're over Sierra Foxtrot, NDB, we'll head on over to Yankee X-Ray Papa, and then direct to Charlie Yankee X-Ray Papa, which is our destination airport for runway 06. Again, those little things for runways may change, just depends on the weather. So passengers, we've got 3, including myself. Cargo is going to be 75 kilograms. We're going to have 25 up the front, 75 in the rear. And the reason for that is we've got to kind of carry our survival rafts and our cold weather gear too. And plus, if we have to do a ditch into the ocean, we've got to make sure that we're all set, ready to rock and roll there. Looking at the flight plan, that's pretty much it. Nothing else really to report there. The winds, as I said, are going to be slightly off the nose, more on the port side here. So the winds are normally coming through this once we're in the cruise, this direction here, from around about 10 o'clock. Right, so passengers, I've got 1 in. So let's get weights and balances squared away here, because that's quite the important side. And you can see how we had fuel still left in our, well, that was wrong, so we'll put those back to where they should be. and we want to take 301 kilograms in fuel. What does that give us? That's 295, and then we're going to round it up to 350 kilograms because we can, and we always want to take a little bit of extra fuel. It's better to take extra than not have it and need it. So let's bring that back just a touch. 350. And the reason why I'm kind of splitting my fuel is just in case we lose pumps on one of the tanks. It's the only reason for it. I need to record those costings. That's fine. Right, so 77 for me, 79 for my front passenger, and my next passenger, who is also a ferry pilot, is going to be 79 as well. Scroll on down here to front baggage, which is my baggage, 25 please, and the rear baggage will be 75 please. Done. Right, that's it. We're set, locked, loaded, fuel's on board. Go ahead and signal to ground to disconnect our chocks. Parking brake is verified on, and I held the brakes there just to be on the safe side. Right, let's get ready to go, shall we? So, batteries and alternators can come on, and we'll just have a verification here to make sure that everything's lighting up. Got no major issues. What's supposed to be lit up is lit up, and nothing untoward there. Go ahead and check for correct. And we've got those, and we want to do this one, and then crack that an inch. So all we're checking there is to make sure that we've got full range of motion in our levers. Go to the mains, and we want to just quick jump over here, check that the alternate air for both sides are in and stowed. Everything else is good to rock and roll. 12.3 hours on hobs, so we'd record that. And then that's pretty much that. Done. Right, so let's go ahead and get the right pump because we need to verify. So we've got flow, which is good. And we go ahead and prime. And we'll clear prop for engine start on number 2. Try it this time. There's ignition. There's good flow. There's 1000 RPM and holding. Vac light is out. No engine issues, no oils leaking, no fire or smoke. Good start on engine number 2. Right, let's do the exact same now, but for engine number 1. Oop. Just turn that off. Let's do it in sequence. So there we are. And we want to just quickly check here for full range. Yeah, we have full range. Bring that one back for ground operations. Check prop for full range. We have that. And throttles for full range. And crack an inch. We've got that. Right, check for fuel flow. There's good flow. Go ahead and prime left start for engine 1 and hit the start. There's a good bite. T's and P's are rising. Props setting nicely at around about 1100 RPM, so that's good. And we'll bring the mixture back for ground operations. We'll go ahead now and check on the heater because it's absolutely Baltic outside. And we'll just do around the box here. That's up, that's down, that's up. And I just want to quickly check the back. That's down, that's up, that's down. Now, I did manage to sort out my rudder pedals. So they shouldn't be acting the way that they were acting for the brakes the other day, which is great news. Go ahead, extend flaps 15 degrees. Flaps 30 degrees. We can't see them because they're dropping out from under the wing. They're not extending off the wing. So there we are. And then we'll just leave that for now. Go ahead and check our volts. So the alternator is generating for us and the battery should read zeros. That's perfect. Right side and left side. Lovely. So keep it on battery for now. Beacon light can come on. Avionics can come on. It was a light, yeah, it was a solenoid connection in the gear when I checked through the maintenance report. So we spent through the night replacing the solenoid, and the fees for that have been charged back to the landing school, and it's just come in at $1,279 with me working on it and them doing the soldering and putting in a new solenoid. Right, so we'll go ahead and squawk 2000. There we go. And you can see we've already got our pressure altitude is set. Okie dokie, okie dokie, okie dokie, and okie dokie. And we want to go and get our things sorted out for Navigraph because we need to do the new flight plan. So unload that one, please. Import new one, please. And there we are. So I'll be able to pull this departure up as well, because it's pretty much a visual departure, and we're just going out over to the NDB Sierra Foxtrot. So I'm just going to pull the NDB up because that's quite important. 38.2, which is already set here. We can see that. So we're going to flick that round. This should set as well for the NDB to show us whereabouts it is. I want to go in here into flight plan and want to go and get ourselves squared away here. So we can do. So Bravo Golf Sierra Foxtrot. Airlock Doc is in the chat. I do see you there, my good man, and I've not forgotten. Welcome in. I hope you're well. I did diddly. Well, I'm actually an engineer, so I can promise you I did it with them. I wasn't in the bar, honestly. So Bravo Golf Sierra Foxtrot. We're now going to go out to Sierra. So I'll just type these in so it's a little bit quicker. So we're now going to go out to Sierra Foxtrot. We can see there Greenland's already come up, which is fine. And then it's NDB Greenland. Perfect. We now want to head direct to Yankee X-Ray Papa. So I'm just looking at Yankee X-Ray Papa, which is a VOR. Correction, no, this looks like an NDB, and it's 218. So we can set that here. And we want 218, 218. It's been a long day. 218, 218. There we go. That's set in standby, so that's fine. And we'll just make sure that that is what we want. So SF direct. And all I'm doing is I'm just checking to make sure that it is exactly as it should be. Yes, it is. SF direct and to Yankee X-Ray Papa. Oh, looking so good. Into Canada airspace. Check that out. We're getting there. We are getting there. Slowly but surely. And then we're going to be going Charlie Yankee X-Ray Papa. New word there for the dictionary. And Chunky. That's it. I'm going to say that the whole stream now. Charlie Yankee X-Ray Papa. And that's at our destination airport. Let's see. Well, I don't know why I try and do it on the control wheel on the mouse, because I absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate it. It's the reason why I went and picked up for my flight simulation desk here. I went and picked up a GNS 530. So there we go. Right. That's the route. It's nothing technical. We don't have a huge amount to fly. As I said, it's about 377 nautical miles, so pretty much as the crow flies. Let's jump out and have a look. Look at this. Skiving. That's what he's doing. Right there. He is skiving. Skiving. That dude. Doing nothing all day long. Goes home and tells his wife he's had a busy day too, I bet. Right, so trim. Want to go ahead and set neutral trim. There we are. Hold the brakes. Power back. Release parking brake. Give this guy a flash of the taxi lights. It's not even looking, see? Lazy. Lazy, and then off we go. Go ahead and extend our landing lights. There we are. Oh, hang on. I know. Okay. We should be moving, but we're not moving. What's going on here? Oh, what's going on here? Let's try that again. What is going on here? I'm stuck to the ground, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump into settings. Let's see what's going on with my settings here. As far as I know, we're all good. We shouldn't have any problems. Let me jump over to defaults, apply and save, resume, go back. We're stuck. What happened to you? Yeah, we're stuck to the ground here, guys and girls. Come on. I'm seeing the pedals move. I'm not holding the brakes here. Nope, parking brakes are released. Ah, right. Well, I didn't want to let go then, did it? Right, let's try it now. What is going on? Right, okay. He just doesn't like us to stop, clearly. Okay. Not sure what is going on there. Maybe we were just stuck to the floor a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh, there's something on my pedals. I don't know. It's like it's braking, but it's not braking. And I sorted this out earlier as well. Let's have a look at sensitivity. Should these be all the way up the top? I don't know why there's a dead zone here. Let's reset. Done. Okay. Apply and save. Go back. Resume. It's registering something as that I'm on my brakes, but I can promise you I'm not. Oh, Viper Strike, hey. Love the love there, dude. Love the love. We got a little issue here where I don't know if it's controls. Let's see. All right, so it doesn't want to acknowledge that the brakes are off. So it's definitely in my control options, which is very strange. Very, very strange. There's always got to be something, hasn't there? Okay. So let's do the profile. Let's go flight controls, primary services. That's fine. Let's look at brakes. Let's try reverse the brakes and see what they do. All right, let's try this again. Okay, so that's now working, but I've got reverse brakes, so I'm pressing the brakes to go right now. If I release the brakes, we should stop, which is the weirdest thing in the world. Right, let's try this again. It's definitely in the pedals. I think I'm going to have to recalibrate them yet again. Oh. Right. Brakes. Right, so those are now doing what they should be doing. You see it there, that's when... I would have thought they would have been all the way down here. So I would have thought that these would have been up the top. It doesn't appear to be, does it? It appears like they're set on. Go back, resume. Pressing Y, then pressing Y again. Wait, are you using it as a full axis or 0 to 0 axis? It's never changed. I've never changed it. The only thing I have done is I calibrated my controls a while back. That's the only thing that's changed. Let me just set 1000. We'll have a quick look at this in the USB controllers. TPR. Properties. Test. Yeah, that's working lovely. Settings. Reset to default. Calibrate. Yes, yes. All right, there we go. There we are. Okay, that's good. Hopefully. Next. We'll just turn that. Okay. Next. Finish. Apply. Okay. Right, let's see what it does now. Right, that seems to have sorted that issue. All right, let's get going. Always something. Always something. So we could, I mean, it's telling me we're set up for 09 depart. I reckon we'll depart 23 rather than 09. I think it's a much safer option. So we'll go ahead and set 09. Landing lights, strobe lights, and we can go ahead and chuck on our pitot heat. Go ahead and get our windshield, and prop heat is already on. We'll go ahead and put on our squawk. So transponder is squawking, and we'll get rid of this. We want to set that to our runway heading, and we want to set this for our course heading. So we should be pretty good there, and then bring that one back. We can see 271 is what we want. So we just set 271 on our course. Right, we'll do a backtrack to 23, and then we'll take off 23. I'm not going to take off 09 because I want to avoid that terrain. Landing, absolutely fine. Taking off, well, we don't need it, do we? Let's be honest. Oh, let's bring that back. There we go. We're probably off the runway. Oh, we're not. There makes a change. Look. And let's go ahead and get some music on. So if you're just joining us, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm AI, and well, I'm Stuart on the AI2W channel, which is Ailerons into Wind. We're on leg 5 of our Ferry Pilot series, where we're taking the Cessna 310R over to Yellowknife in Canada. Belbro, thank you so much for the follow. And King Kong Gamer 1, dude, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated, my good man. All follows are extremely welcome. Okay, so we're just going to line up here for 27. Right engine to bring us round. There we are. She's a pretty girl. She's a dirty bird, but she's a pretty girl. Let's have a little look. So if you want to join us, you feel free to do so. We're at Bravo Golf Sierra Foxtrot, and we are currently getting ready to depart on our flight into Canadian airspace. So we'll just go in now and check some of our check stuff. So mixture full rich. Fuel flow to low. We'll go ahead and set those. Verify cowl flaps are open for the departure here. Go ahead and cycle the CDI. That'll clear the nav flag. And that's just telling me, hopefully, how far we are. And that's not an issue already. 3 green this time. For those of you just joined in, on our arrival into Bravo Golf Sierra Foxtrot, we had a solenoid issue which made us anticipate or prepare for a unlocked nose gear. So we ended up doing an emergency procedure. We went around and then we ended up coming back in for a landing. Right, Volanter is tracking. Oh, sorry guys, you've had no sound there. Volanter is tracking. The Dirty Bird is running. And we want 271 on this one. There we go. 271 is set. I'm locked and loaded. You guys locked and loaded? Should we release the Kraken and get going? I reckon we should. So, throttles come up. We'll set 20 and then we'll go full power takeoff. So there we are, off the brakes and full power takeoff. Engine T's and P's are all good and in the green. Airspeed is climbing. Maintaining the center line with my pedals. Don't let her fly. And there we go, we're up. Pitch out for the blue line. Blue line is set, gear can come up. Waiting for 300 feet and then we'll bring the flaps in. There's 300 feet, flaps can come in. Go ahead and set 7,000 initial. That's our transition altitude. Arm. Don't you dare pitch me down any further. Autopilot can come on. And I think we're pretty good there. So we now bring the power back to 25. RPM, we can bring that now back to 25. And we'll just cruise on out as we are. We're looking for around about 115, which we're climbing out at perfect. That's our VOI. So far, so good. All right, let's jump outside and have a little looky look. Looks like we've got another gear issue. This landing gear. Look at it. What is going on? Looks like the maintenance department didn't do their thing. This is going to be interesting. So technically we have a look at it, so we can see it here straight away. I'm not showing any faults here. This is stowed. Now I've locked it out. Gear transition just doesn't want to work today, does it? Right. RTB it is. It certainly is. So we're going to cancel our departure. And what we're going to do, or how are we going to do it? So it's my aircraft. Bring the nose down. Bring the power back. And I'm going to request a turn back. So easiest way to do a turn back. So we want to set roughly 80 degrees from our course heading. So that would be 330. Start the timer. You want 25 seconds. And then we'll do a turn back to come back round and we'll start our descent. So it looks like we're slightly delayed now, ladies and gentlemen, but these things do happen in the real world, I guess. So we'll go flaps 15. Landing lights and everything else is on. Fuel pumps are still on. Cowl flaps are open. And then we'll make our turn back. 15-degree turn all the way around. How are our passengers anyway? They're all good. And we won't be able to do the status until we're on the ground with the batteries off, so... Always something, huh? Here we are, 15 degrees. Bit high here, but no big deal. 8 miles to run to final. Keep it coming down around about 800 feet. Maintain just above blue line. And we'll go ahead and get this fixed. And we want a 60-degree interception. There we are. There's 800 feet. Coming in nicely. So we're setting up for the localizer, but we're doing visual. We're just using the localizer for GPS guidance, so to speak. Or position guidance. Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is for... Yeah, exactly. Here we go. There's 15 degrees. The one thing I would like to see is the needle not move so aggressively. It doesn't start to move until you're, you know, like half, 300 meters away from it. In the real life, you start to see it move gradually. It doesn't seem to kind of pick it up until you're more or less on top of it, which would then cause you to bank very severely in. Right, so we've got landing gear down, 3 green. They obviously boo-booed something when they was repairing the girl. All I did was solder in the new solenoid. That was it. I'm not taking any blame for this. A little bit low, but there, power can come up. Maintain the blue line again. So if anyone wants to come on in, feel free to do so. Oh, Shuffle Shoes is in the house. Bit crazy to do this, but here we go. Welcome in, Shuffle. Nice to have you back with us. Right, so here we go. Yeah, the HSI, the course indication. So we've got it tuned currently for the localizer, but it doesn't in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It doesn't move like it would do in the real world. It's way too quick. You start to see it moving a lot sooner. Okay, so looking pretty good so far. I've got my landing spot. Speed's good. This hopefully won't take too long. You know, being stuck to the tarmac, the brakes not releasing, and now the landing gear not coming up. But the weird thing is, if I press this here, it should tell me what faults I've got, and it's reading zeros, so I'm not sure what's happening here, ladies and gents. Oh, welcome along, Raiders. We're currently in Greenland, and we were set to depart, but at the minute, it don't look like we're going anywhere. We've had a gear failure in the 310. We've just had to do a turn back, and we're just coming into land at runway 09, head straight to the maintenance department, and give them a gobful for not repairing the gear as they were supposed to do yesterday. So we had a gear failure on landing here, and as we've just departed, the gear now won't retract, so we're heading back in. I think I'm going to have to do a sim reset too. Okay, there's blue line. I've got my landing spot. We're good. Winds are just slightly out to the left side here. Right side, sorry. There's transition, power to idle, ice to the end of the runway. Just hold the nose. Oh, let her come down. Lovely. Right, so now the gear wants to tell me it's not working. I have no idea what's going on with this gear today, guys and girls. No idea. Right, let's brake nice and gentle. We're going to continue rolling down. I want to take the next right and head round to maintenance. You can see maintenance is just at the end of the field there. Yeah, out of the main menu. Great. Sim restart. Hey, at this point, if any of you want to jump on into the sim to follow me on this next leg, feel free to do so. We're at Bravo, Golf, Sierra, Foxtrot, and on the Southeast Asia server. More than happy to have you in. Ian Fisher 101. Dude, how was your stream? Thank you so much for the raid. It is really appreciated. Let's go in and take this one. We'll go landing lights and strobe lights off. We'll go standby. Flaps can come up. At least they work. Mixture, we'll pull back for ground operations. Head down here. Okay, power idle. Nice and gentle on the brakes. I suppose these are all the things that real world ferry pilots do have to contend with and deal with. Alright, let's go get this maintenance manager and give him a... You can do it! Thank you so much for the follow there. I blame Murphy. Murphy's law. Ian, I know you probably can't type at the minute, and that's purely because you're a new follow, so I do apologise for that. However, it is there just to stop the bots from attacking as they have done in previous streams. So it's 10 minutes. I do apologise that you won't be able to put anything into the chat. Right, let's go again and get this shut down. First thing I want to do, let's try and... That's all done. Put that off, because I've got to go through a restart again, haven't I? And I've got a big daft handle in the way, look. There we go, and this one can go off. Everything else is good. Mags are off, alternators and batteries can come off. Parking brake is set. Let me stick in the wheel chocks, although I don't really want to. And let's have a look at service, inspect. Makes no sense. Why is the gear not working then? If we're all good there. So we'll overhaul a lot. Or whatever it wants to overhaul for me. Battery is good. Right flaps are fine. Left brake's fine. Right brake's fine. Left gear's fine. Right gear's fine. So where's the issue? Right, let's jump out of here. And, right, main menu. I've got to get geared up again, guys and girls. Hey, Maddie. Yeah, gear up. Gear failure to retract. So we have to do a quick RTB. And hopefully now we won't have an issue. Hopefully. So out the main menu, back into the main menu, back to where we were, which is down here at Echo Ramp. Set as departure, hit fly. Let's see if this works. ATC bot says, hi everybody. How typical. We're off the blocks fine as well. How typical. Right, so departure is still going to be runway 09. That's fine. Everything else is fine. Let's get back in here. Right. Is this reset? Right, so that's reset. These are all off and good. Off and on. Those can come back on now. Let's go ahead and have a look here. I've got to reset everything. So inspect. I don't want any issues here. So right flat. Gears are good. We'll repair all of this just to be on the safe side. Right, okay. So inspections are done. Okay. Parking brake is set. Wheel chocks. If only it was this quick in real life. We want middle right. Correction, not middle right. We want front right and middle left. And then we want the rear baggage and nose baggage. And then we go over to our weights and balances. Fuel's perfect, exactly where it was. Let's see where we are here. Although we did use a little bit of fuel for that. Never mind. 75 in the rear and 25 up front, wasn't it? 25 up front. And then we want a middle passenger on the right side. Never mind. I said left, didn't I? But never mind. And then 79. Not 790. Oh, 79. Right. Oh, it's done the fuels again. Right. Should that be 350? It would be so nice if they... I only want 350 kilograms of fuel. Block. There we are. 350. Right. That's us set. Ready to rock and roll. Fingers crossed, folks. Fingers crossed. Right. So, battery and alternator back to on. Magneto lights to on. Beacon to alert everyone. Nav to confirm we are getting ready to go. Props are full forward. Mixture has already been checked. And this would be a hot start, technically. Cowl flaps open. We want to check for flow. There's flow. That can go up as well. And prime right side. Clear prop. Second time lucky, guys and girls. Second time lucky. Right, let's get going. Set for ground. And exactly the same for left engine. There's flow. Prime. Checks. Oh, cowl flap open. Good start. Lovely. Right. Make sure that the alternator is alternating, doing its thing and running on the systems. And we've got good charge. Avionics can now come on. Pitot heat can come on straight away because it's freezing outside. Prop heat, windshield heat can come on as well. And wait for everything to fire up. Right, so 8 viewers. Hope you're all good. Thank you for coming on in. I do apologise for the little manicness that's going on right now in this stream. However, we will get there. Oh, wrong one. That one. Left engine. We've just had a gear retraction failure, so we had to do an RTB, land the runway 09, which we did do. And we got to head on now back on out to our destination airport, which is Charlie Yankee X-Ray Papa. So just wait for the GPSs to align and then we'll get going. There we go. GPS is set. Flight plan. Got to quickly do the flight plan again. That's not a problem. Bravo Golf Sierra Foxtrot is where we are. If we get a gear issue this time, I'm just going to fly the whole lot with the gear down. We want Sierra Foxtrot as our waypoint. So that's our first NDB. There we go. And yeah, we then want to head on over to Yankee X-Ray Papa, if my memory serves me correctly. Once I get up, guys, into the sky, I'll engage more with the chat. I do apologise for this, but I just want to get as airborne and en route as quickly as I can. So, Chunky, there we are. That's our another NDB, and then we want to go Charlie Yankee X-Ray Papa. Charlie Yankee X-Ray Papa. And once I've got this in, I can just have a moment, just to take a breath. And we should be good. X-ray papa. Enter. CDI course. And GPS is set. On the brakes. Throttles back. Release parking brake. And we want a... we'll go right turn, so left engine. Chop this dude in half. Quick, look away. It didn't happen. It wasn't us. Don't know what you're on about. Go ahead and give the flaps down. Taxi light can come back on. And we'll head over to the runway over this way. Flight plan can disappear. And we just want to go ahead and set that. And I want terrain awareness on this one. How are you all? Right, let's have a look at what we've got going on. So if this is the first time you've tuned into one of my streams, I like to try and stream Tuesday, Wednesdays and Thursdays from 17:30 Zulu. Streams are normally up until around about 8, 8:30, although today we're a little bit behind. After a gear failure, we had to do an RTB, just left maintenance, and we're heading on our journey again. Hopefully this time the gear will retract. So clear left and right. Cowl flaps are open. Fuel pumps, we can go ahead and chuck those on. Landing lights can come on. And strobe lights are on. Mixture full rich. Approach flaps set ready for takeoff. And will be no delay on this one, ladies and gentlemen. We will be climbing out quite quickly. So advance the throttles. Takeoff power is set and verified. Engine T's and P's are both good and in the green. Airspeed is climbing. There's rotation. Up she comes. Tap the brakes. You ready? Let's try it. Gear up. It doesn't want to come up, look. I have no idea what's going on. So there's through 300, flaps can come up. Looks like we're flying it all the way over, guys and girls. We're going to Canada with a gear down. Yep, it does not want to come up, look. Oh, the joys of simming. Right, so landing lights, taxi lights can come off. We'll keep going the way we're going. We will keep going the way we're going. Let me go ahead and set my course indicator here. 271 is what we need. There we are. And 271 down here too. There we go. Is there a button in... do you know what, Matty? I couldn't honestly tell you. I'll be honest. I couldn't tell you. I've not got any faults here. So there's no reason why the gear shouldn't come up. Maybe I need to go into the failures tab or something. I don't know, but we're constantly getting it. But it's somewhat annoying. Let's try again. Gear down. Gear up. No idea, guys. Is there a button on the keyboard I can press? Let's check. The only thing I can check in controls here. Bravo throttle quadrant is set as 310, so landing gear. Gear up, gear down. Yeah, that's set. No idea. Just doesn't want to come up. It's gonna make this flight all the more interesting. Circuit breaker, good idea. Oh, there it is. Matty for the win. Matty right there. Check that one out. Boom. There's 25. And we'll go 25 squared for our climb out. I'm going to go ahead and set 7,000. There's 7,000. Arm, autopilot, nav. Matty, you're an absolute legend. Thank you. Right, let's go ahead and... Oh, hang on. So we leave the wonderful beauty of Greenland and we make our little jaunt on over into Canada. Fuse breaker is squared away. Thanks to our resident resident pilot, Matty. Thank you so much, good man. I did do an overhaul inspection, yeah, on restart, but it shouldn't have popped the circuit breaker there, airlock. I wouldn't have thought. So there's the turnout. Not sure what's going on there with the autopilot. Just disengaging. There we go. Get back on profile. Get back to where you were. And we want to go ahead and set course 296. 296. There's 7,000 and level. And we'll bring the mixture back now. I would say it's sorry to see that we're departing Greenland, but after the fiasco we had coming in and the departure coming out, I'm not going to say it is. Airlock, it's not a problem. Thank you so much anyway for yesterday. I really enjoyed that one. Definitely won't be in a slow cruise. Thank you, Matty. So with the maintenance fees that we had, the landing fees, etc., we're now running a cost in total of about 4,700 roughly. I just need to check the files. So we were lucky enough though, the flying school picked up the tab for us. We won't tell them that we had to do a secondary landing today. Right, so 16,000 is set. We'll go arm, alt, and we'll climb at 1,000 feet per minute, and we'll go ahead and set standard. There we are. Perfect. Nothing wrong with my country boy hat. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Nothing wrong with it. It's a Yorkshire thing. So just increasing manifold pressure there. Want about 23 if I can get it. Just for now. Yep, there's 23. Lovely. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with my hat. No, I don't have an MG. I'm a Yorkshireman. We had Ford Cortinas. I'm surprised you don't have my Massey Ferguson jacket or my Clars jacket, because I like my good old tratters, I do. So story about me is I grew up, born and bred in Yorkshire. I joined the military when I was 21, and I ended up being posted in Wiltshire, where I resided for, I want to say 13 years. And then I moved to Wales. Ooh. Sorry, Ian, if I missed that. I do apologise, my good man. The chat that I have normally hasn't popped up. Let me drop the dock out so I can see that a little bit better. If it's on my phone here sometimes, I can't always catch it. So you took the A2A Bonanza. I'm assuming that was in P3D? Nice. I'm waiting on their Comanche. I spoke to Scott on the forum a few months back, and I'm holding out right now. I really am. It's lovely to have you along, and thank you so much for the follow as well. Really appreciate it, as we are now on our way out of here after dealing with parking brake issues, rudder pedal issues. That's your only sim for now. Look, Airlock Doc will attest to this. When it comes to flight simulation, I fly in the sim that shall never be named on this stream, X-Plane, and I fly in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I never tried P3D, mainly because of the way that they set their payment tariffs. I wasn't too impressed with. But overall, if it's aviation, it gives you a passion to fly. You fly whatever simulator you want to fly. That's my that is my personal view on it. You can fly whatever you like. So there's climbing through 11,000. Let's go ahead and set the standby altimeter as well. 12.5 hours flying so far, folks. And an hourly rate of £75 an hour. No right or wrong. As long as it gives you what you want, that should be all that ever matters. If you can use it to train real world as well, then it's a big bonus. And I've always used X-Plane 11, X-Plane 12 to train real world flying, and Microsoft Flight Simulator as well to train kind of real world flying for when I was mainly looking at new areas that I was unsure of. I'd do it in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I want to go down here. There we are. There's 800. Just rearm just to be on the safe side. So we're looking so far so good. Let's disappear my magical face so that Airlock Doc doesn't have to look at the hat anymore. Nothing wrong with my hat. And let's chuck this one on. So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to tag along, fly formation, arm escort, whatever it is that tickles your fancy, I'm currently flying on the Southeast Asia server, heading over towards the North Atlantic. We're currently departing Greenland at Bravo Golf Sierra Foxtrot, and we're heading outbound to Charlie Yankee X-Ray Papa. And we are flying Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey Tango Foxtrot today. A Cessna 310R, delivering that to the flying school in Yellowknife. Everyone is welcome. The only thing I would suggest is bring beers, crisps, and Snickers. All right, so coming up, oh, we're a little bit low on airspeed there. Let's drop the nose a little bit. So that's going to swing the needle here. So once we start intercepting that beacon for 218, and that's the Yankee X-Ray Papa, just in case we have any issues. You know, just in case we have any issues, because we've not had any issues at all on this flight, have we? So just in case we have any issues, we're going to set that, just in case we lose GPS guidance, we can still keep our second standby ready to rock and roll there. So how's your Thursday been, ladies and gentlemen? And Mr. Ian Fisher's comment for me, it's all about the aircraft. That's why I fly A2A, Majestic, FS Labs, and PMDG. That's about all. Along with the MJC 47, of course. I'm not au fait with all of the aircraft in PMDG. I'll be straight to the point there. Completely honest, I'm not. One thing that I can say is I'm very similar myself, in the aspect that I like to fly aircraft that will give me a close to real world representation as possible within the confines and the limitations of any simulator. And I don't care what anybody tries to tell me or tell anybody else, each sim has those limitations. Doesn't matter if it's laminar, if it's P3D, DCS world, anything like that, they all have limitations. It's just being able to enjoy yourself within the confines of those limitations. And it's why I own the Hot Start Challenger 650, because that's by far one of the most accurate aircraft I've ever got my mitts on. I did have a lot of A2A stuff in FSX. I don't anymore. I haven't flown on the FSX simulator in years. I save my Snickers for when I make comments about your hat. Ah, you can't even be making comments about my hat. That's uncalled for. We don't stand for none of that crap here. Nope. You went over Farnborough. Yeah, I avoid Farnborough like the plague, bro. No way. I'm surprised you managed to get out flying today. Oh, did you just go over driving to Farnborough, or did you actually fly over there, Matty? Because I was down in Cheddar today. Yeah, you drove in. Yeah, so I was down in Cheddar today, and Cheddar's a VRP, just in case anyone's wondering. You know, I wasn't sitting there doing Wallace and Gromit and, you know, bit of cheese. Cheddar is actually a reservoir, and it's a VRP to get into £2,000 landing fee to fly into Farnborough. How much is your handling charges? Okay, so we've got 1,000 to go, ladies and gentlemen. That's insane. For a PA-28? Or was that for the Charlie? £2,000 to put wheels on tarmac. And I thought the latest increases in road tax was bad. I mean, saying that, Bristol's been getting a lot of... What's that? Negative press is the polite way of putting it. In reference to their landing fees, haven't they? Because they're starting to price themselves out of GA work at the minute, from what I could read in the news. I can put a Kit Fox or Cub down in your back garden for them. Not in my back garden, you can't. Unfortunately. You can do it in the back field, which is beyond my back garden. Just stick it down in your garden, it'll be fine. You might get away with sticking an R22 in the back garden, but I don't think a Kit Fox would do it. Lawn dart, man. You do not give me enough credit. Okay, so really realistic, genuine truth to everybody who's in chat. How many of you have tried the Dubai landing that we've seen from the Red Bull team? How many of you have tried it so far? I know there's got to be more than one in this place. There's got to be more than one who's tried that. Okay, coming up quite nicely now. So Matty's not gotten round to it yet. I mean, I watched Mike Patey's breakdown of what they had to do to the Cub to be able to get it to stop in time. It was unbelievable, and the fact that they stuck nitrous oxide in the tank, in the system, again, superb. The guy is an aviation engineer genius. So just keeping the mixture. I'm now going to start getting ready to set lean of peak here. There we are. Right side's done. Oh, left side's very twitchy. These I can't wait to get my new Fulcrum throttles. I was hoping that Chris over at Fulcrum Sim would have sent them over by now, but I guess he's backed up with orders, so I'll check in with him, because they were supposed to be here by now. Right, so fuel pumps come off. So we're just going to go into our cruise checks here, ladies and gents. That's all set, and we want to bring the proper RPM back to 2300. That's set nicely. Sorry, I keep putting my hand in front of the camera. I boycott certain things like energy drinks that taste like manure and any other related material. I don't drink Red Bull. I don't touch energy drinks. My partner is a heart and lung advanced nurse practitioner, so I can promise you, if I touched energy drinks, her size 6 would be wedged firmly where the sun doesn't shine, and I believe I would probably be constipated for at least a month. Someone in the chat has got to have tried landing on that helipad. Someone's got to. They really have. So I'm just checking the fuse breakers down here because I'm paranoid about it now, ladies and gents. None look like they have popped, which is good news for us. Let's have a look. Yep. Now I'm missing some stuff. So first of all, we need the autism awareness sticker, and we need the next sticker, which is airlock dock. I like to fly with those two stickers. I think they're cool. Get rid of the passenger and stick a briefcase in it. No, we're not allowed. Can't do that. The passenger is there. Ever read the fine print on a Red Bull? Says not to drink more than 2 a day can cause cardiac. Yep. Yep. Most of them do. Most of them do. And when Red Bull first released, the drink of choice was vodka Red Bull. And they had to, I won't say ban it, but they had to stop serving after a certain amount because its side effects was worse than cocaine. Yeah, the clubs we went into when I was younger, I say younger, when I was in my 20s, they wouldn't allow us to drink it. But I mean, well, when I was 18, when it first kind of dropped. But then we were getting WKD and stuff like that as well. Oh, do you know what? I believe there's a Scrappy mod, Matty, already, and I think it came out in like the first year of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Is it any good? I genuinely couldn't tell you. I haven't touched it, but it wouldn't surprise me, knowing Mike Patey, you know, and the Patey brothers, if they actually sat down with a coder somewhere. I mean, I know what Mike's like and he's busy as hell, but for something like that, I bet he would do that. I bet he would give some of his time. I know the guy only sleeps like 3 hours a day. And he'd probably help someone develop something accurate for the simulator. If, you know, someone reached out to him and said, right, look, we want to run a Scrappy in Microsoft Flight Simulator, for example, but we need to know your performance calculations and what your real world data is. That man's got it. He has got that data. Oh. That's all I'm going to say. Have a good evening, my friend. Sleep well. Thank you so much for popping on in. All I'm going to say is... You're not banned. Never ban anybody on this channel. Not unless it's one of those bots that keeps telling me it can even get me, you know, 10,000 viewers, or wants me to, you know, undress and start licking the microphone on stream. You won't get banned, I promise you. And no one wants to pay to see that, I can promise. The follows a drop off tomorrow. You have 0 followers. Twitch, you are banned. I'll try not to crash, I promise. Well, I can't make no promises, but if I lose an engine, then I'll just ask Matty to find it for me. So we're all good down here. We'll go ahead and close up the cowl flaps now. Reduce a little bit more of that drag. Cylinder temperatures are all good and in the green. Cylinder. The EGTs are fine. Yep, they're good. Running leaner peak, minus 55 degrees, and the outside temperature, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely freezing. But we have no vomit comet. Our passengers are comfortable, and the cabin is comfortable and steady, so we're good. And if any of you fly the 310 and are wondering how to get that setting, these are kind of, I won't say the cheat settings, but I've never adjusted them. These are what I have here set up, and they work superb. No lighters, though, there's no smoking on here. And 8 hours on the hub. So go ahead and look at our function flight time for today. So we've been airborne 27 minutes, and we'll just keep that running. So we're about an hour 45 from our destination, so it's not a long hop. So if anyone wants to join me, you're more than welcome. I won't take up all of your evening, I promise. An hour 45 puts us touching down around about 8:30. Nothing wrong with my hat. I can't believe Airlock Duck said that about my hat. That's just so wrong. So wrong. So wrong. Right. Time for some, should we say, feet stomping? Let's see what we've got. All right. So T's and P's are all good and in the green. We're going to go over and chuck in our auxiliary tank now. We want to burn some of that fuel off. So let's go ahead and do... Oh, that's why. There we go. Pressed the wrong thing. Let's say, did I save the engine? Yes, I did, just about. That's why we only do one engine at a time, ladies and gents. That was complete pilot error there. Almost lost the engine. Airlock Doc will be back in a second going, I've been gone seconds. We'll go ahead and switch the left one. T's and P's are all good and the green pressures are fine. Oh, that was close. Managed to save it. Managed to save it. See, that's why I hate using the scroll wheel. But it is a good lesson as to why we only turn one at a time. Just about saved it. So everything else is good. We're on oxygen, technically. So we would be sounding like Bane from the Dark Knight series. You merely embrace the dark. The scenery, just look at that. Can you own? I mean, I can only imagine. It really does take my breath away and takes words away as well. But looking at that out the window that we can see right now, to see that in the real world, I mean, it is bucket list, guys. It's got to be bucket list. Absolutely got to be a bucket list. And let's have a look at our VNav. So I want to try and get set up here because this little airport that we're running into is one of those airports that it's well used. It's got an RNAV, which was why I chose it. So we'll look at 10.9. Doesn't have much in terms of facility wise. And it is gravel. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me correct. It is gravel. Charlie Yankee X-Ray Papa is gravel. The scenery is available on flightsim.to, which is where I picked it up from. I can't guarantee scenery for all of these little airports that we're going to be kind of heading into. But Yellowknife, I believe, was either Inibuilds or Orbex. I'd have to check just to be on the safe side to give that developer a good shout out. Where we departed at Dortmund, that was Barometrics. That is available as an entire scenery for Dortmund, not just the airport. Definitely recommend that one. We scooted then over to Essen, and that didn't have a scenery, so we just used default MSFS for that one, which was, was fine. We departed Essen, EDLE, and then we went over to Wick, which is John O'Groats, and again, that one is available on flightsim.to. From there, we went over to the Faroe Islands, which is an old Aerosoft one, I believe. Then we went from there over to Keflavik, which is MK Studios, and then from Keflavik, we went into, I can't pronounce it, but Bravo Golf Sierra Foxtrot, and that one again is on flightsim.to. So these are all freeware airports. I'm not, as much as possible, I'm not turning around telling everyone that you have to go out and purchase all these to come and fly these events and things. You really don't. You can find pretty much anything on either Flyaway Simulations, flightsim.to, or any of the other shareware platforms, which they've propped up everywhere. I know flightsim.to's had a lot of negative press lately for their terms and conditions, but I'm not a developer. I don't have anything on there for sale. I'm not getting involved in it. I'm just talking from it as a consumer standpoint. So far so good. Kick back, let the beer flow if that's your case. I'm going to go and let Sam Bears out, and with that I'm going to jump underneath the carriage of this fabulous aircraft now that she's working properly. Chuck on some tunage for you all, and we'll be back as soon as we can. Right, so just had to say hello to the wonderful wife, which has just come back in from work. We're still cruising quite nicely, and yes, the Kraken has been officially released. Ooh, good. Okay, so cruise is set, mixture we've already leaned, cargo flaps we don't require, just keeping an eye on the fuel. Propellers we've already synced manually, and a trick to syncing propellers in twins, if you want to make sure, just to be on the safe side, you can take a camera phone, put it on video mode and hold it above where I'm currently sitting here, and it'll give you a slower rotation due to the shutter speed, and you can sync up so it matches absolutely perfect. There's something we all can learn every day, I guess. Auxiliary fuel pumps are off, and we're done there. Yeah, lovely. Fuel selectors we currently got on auxiliary tanks, but we will switch those back to mains once they get down to £50 each side. Fingers crossed. Lovely. Everything else is looking good and dandy. Temps and pressures are all in the green here. So the vacs are good. Look at how cold it is outside though. Look at that outside air temperature. Hot damn, that's cold. For a little piston prop, and we'd say in Yorkshire, you need your big coat. Gotta go get your big coat. It's bloody cold outside. Right. This view is amazing. I wonder what real time... I'm not advancing the time because it affects my flight time here, unfortunately. But I was going to say, I wonder what real time looks like. But if I mess with it, it'll mess with my flight time. It'll increase it to something ridiculous. So we're not going to do that. No. It's like a kid with a big red button. Do it. Do it. Do it. No. Kenny, how was everyone in the chat? You all good? Who do we have in the chat? Still lurking, just doing some work, dude. Thank you so much for sticking with me. How's work been today? Like I said, I was down in Cheddar reviewing an engineer's performance today. So we were sat in a pub talking about his performance and having a cup of coffee. And the next thing I realised, the gas fire that they had running in the pub wasn't running so well, and the landlord was trying to sort it out, and me and my colleague were just looking at each other going, should we, shouldn't we? We did. We're both qualified gas engineers, so we ended up assisting. Shuffle Shoes is still in the house. Yay! Shuffle Shoes is still here. Lovely to have you along. And not too bad, just a lot to do. Is it work or is it student pilot work, buddy? Let's have a look at the map. Let's bring this over here so you can see where we are currently. Work, yeah, sucks, dude. So you can see here, we've just left Greenland. We're now making our way to the Canadian airspace. Hopefully the Mounties might see us. Oh. Doesn't let you have more than 200 nautical miles? Well, that sucks. I'll have to adjust and get my Volanta map ready to rock and roll. So yeah, we can see that we took off and landed, and then took off again. So we're doing good so far. Oh, add flight plan. There we go. So everything's looking well so far. So into Charlie Yankee X-Ray Papa, we got QNH is reading or reporting 3018. From 1800 Zulu, there's no winds. 15 statute miles. Sky's clear. Minus 21. Oh, I hope you got your Canada Goose gear kit. And dew point is minus 24. Ouch. If we need to, we could have our alternate, which is Charlie Yankee Foxtrot Bravo set. And the weather is outside for there is 330 at 13 knots, 30 statute mile clear visibility, snow, few at 1200, scattered 260, minus 17 temperature, minus 20 dew point, 300 for your altimeter setting, and remarks as ST1, C14, STTR, and SLP 1905. So, okay. I don't know what all the remarks are off the top of my head, I'll be honest, ladies and gents. But if we have to divert, we can do, but it doesn't seem like we'll be diverting into a much better field, so to speak. But let's have a look at Venture Sky to see what the weather is actually going to be looking like over there. So Venture Sky updates, yes please. Let's go and have a look at where we're going into. That's up in this region. Do we have any live world map? No. Low clouds, total cloud cover. We don't want clouds, do we? We want to see precipits, what the precipits like. Nice and clear, that's good news. It's not clear down in that side of the world though, is it? Oof. So we'll make our way on over. And just looking at the weather forecasts, it's definitely worse towards Charlie Yankee Foxtrot Bravo, but the winds are pushing it south. So we should be okay where we're heading to at Charlie Yankee X-Ray Papa, but it is a gravel strip landing. So what will that do to our landing performance? 'Tis the question. Tis the question. Okay, coming up £50 either side. Compass is good. It's reading the same. Yep. And we just want to go ahead and set the heading bug slightly to what we're flying. Course indicator, the CI, which is here, that can stay where it is. That's working lovely. And we'll go a right side fuel pump. Pop down here. Let's try not to do this again. There we are. Main tank. Verify. T's and P's are all in the green. Fuel flow is still the same. Fuel pump can come off. Quick verification to make sure that that's not changed. And we do the exact same on the left side now. Perfect. Lovely. No issues. We ain't falling out the sky just yet. So, over large bodies of water, we would be in our survival kit anyway. We'd also have the life raft ready and easily accessible. We would also be wearing life jackets. And that is mainly because our glide performance would not get us back to land at this current stage. So wherever you can't glide to feet dry, when you're over a body of water, you need to have those, or you should have those on board and be wearing them. So if you've got life jackets, you put them on. And they're just little pouches that sit here. They're not that discomforting. A couple of the boys were flying down to St. Mary's last year, and I tried some on just to be on the safe side. Because even though I fly over a body of water in St. Athens, I always stay within glide range to land. Don't like going feet wet unless I really have to. And part of the circuit training there, when you're studying as a student pilot, is they'll chop the throttles as you're on your downward leg, and as they chop the throttles, it's nose down and quite an aggressive turn straight in to meet to get back onto feet dry so that you're over land and you can plan your emergency landing. So ground speed's just decreased about 19 knots, so the winds have swirled just a touch straight to the nose. We were expecting a little bit. I was expecting 10 knots, which is roughly give or takes about right. And then I was expecting 15 knots off the left wing here, off the port wing. So yeah, that is port side. That is starboard side. Easy way to remember is left is four letters, and port's 4 letters. That's the way I remember it. Is listening to these engines drone. How could you not fall asleep? You know, if you're doing this single pilot operation, ferrying a pilot across, I'd just be sitting there doing this. I really would. It's insane, absolutely insane how, you know, single pilots can fly these aircraft for such long periods of time the way that they do and remain alert for the amount of hours that they have to. Oh. So if you're interested in, you know, like looking at what Ferry Pilots do on their journeys, one of the best that I've come across on YouTube is a guy called Guido, and he is a German aviator, I believe, ex-airline pilot and captain, and he's a ferry pilot now, and he's been doing it for many years. I've followed him for, gosh, my original account on YouTube, I think I've got to be coming up to about 6 years I've been following him for, and he really is brilliant to watch. So informative. It is absolutely amazing to watch this guy fly, and the level of professionalism that he puts into his flights, superb, absolutely superb. And there's plenty of books as well. I've got a book, I know Colonel Falk sent me a DM on Discord reference to it, and I've actually got it already, and I've read it previously, and you know what, it made me dig into my library of books that I have, and I was like, you know what, I'll have a look at that again. But it's called Ferry Pilot 9 Lives Over the North Atlantic. It is a superb book if you're into reading, or I think you can get it as a Kindle from Amazon as well. So if you've got a Kindle, you can get the Kindle file. I don't think it has audio books yet, but it's a superb book, really is. But yeah, Ferry Pilot over the North Atlantic. And just off the top of my head, let me just pull up his link here. It's by Kerry Macaulay. And to give you a little bit of insight into Kerry Macaulay. Kerry Macaulay grew up in central Minnesota. He began his career in aviation by becoming a UH-1H Huey helicopter chief crew and winter survival instructor in the Minnesota National Guard. He became a professional skydiving instructor and jump pilot before becoming an international ferry pilot. Kerry's career as a ferry pilot has taken him to 60 countries, over 3 oceans and dozens of seas. Kerry has flown over 50 different types of aircraft, has accumulated over 9,000 hours of flight time and over 20,000 skydives. He has also starred in 2 seasons of the Discovery Channel's series Dangerous Flights, and Kerry lives in Wisconsin with his wife Kathy, where they own and operate Skydive Twin Cities along with their children. So if you want a good read, definitely recommend that. 100%. It's a brilliant book. But we need to get this twin over to Yellowknife. Survive all the issues that we're going to face and what we've already faced. And with help from you guys in the chat, hopefully get there. Fingers crossed, huh? So indicated airspeed has just increased by 4 knots, which is good. It means the wind's just going round to the left side there. We can see that because our course indicator's tracking a little bit more in terms of our bearing. But flight time, we're now just coming up to 1 hour. It gives us 1 hour 21 apparently across the ground for an estimated time of arrival. What time does that put us on? 1 hour 20. Oh, it's pushed. That landing gear issue really has pushed us back. But we'll get there. We're cruising nicely. We will get there quite fine. Should have no dramas now. Stay on the main tanks pretty much all the way in. Should have plenty of fuel. And if you're going on to do these on VATSIM, which you can do across the pond events, etc., and they do have these events on VATSIM. But I'm just looking at Volanta at the minute and just how far north we are. At present, there's only one other pilot who's further north than us. So, yeah, this little C10 is being pushed. She's being... Oh, sorry, correction, 2. Because there's a gentleman... Got one pilot all the way up in... Looks like Dead Horse. Willie Post Will Rogers Memorial Airport. So that's not by... Is that Dead Horse? So it's up around that way, I believe. And he's just taken off from there. Papa Alpha Bravo Romeo was the airport they've taken off from. And they are in the B350. And they're flying on Microsoft Flight Simulator. But we only have a short hop. And then we've got a pretty long hop, I believe. Just looking at the flight plan for this flight. Oh no, we've got another short hop. The next hop after this is 460 nautical miles, and then the one after that is a big hop, so that will be Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So Wednesday will be a long stream. It'll be a 5:30 departure time, but it will be a long stream, so clear your diaries. I would like to see some more aircraft flying along with us for these next couple of legs, and then we'll start getting ourselves ready to rock and roll to arrive into Yellowknife, hopefully by possibly Thursday, if not it'll be Tuesday next week. Sorry, the week after next week. So today's the last stream for myself this week, and we've got some more streams planned for the week after. And then we're going to start looking at the next series, which will be the corporate pilot in Papua New Guinea and delivering coffee beans. So we'll be doing some bush flying in and out of some of the remote coffee farms that they have there, and we'll be flying them down to the major areas to pick up. And some of those streams will be 2 or 3 hops per time, just depends on the distances, which is going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to that one. Absolutely adore flying in Papua New Guinea. I've just got to try and decide on the aircraft because I don't want to take the Kodiak. I'm not keen on it. So it might have to be a Cessna Caravan, but I'm not sure how accurate that Caravan is. So we'll have to see what we can accumulate. And I'll have to look at whether or not there's an half-decent mod for the Caravan, if there is one. So we're just looking around the cockpit, everything looks good. And for livery-wise, ladies and gents, if you're wondering what I'm flying or where I got this livery, you can get this yourself for free. If you head on over to the Two Tone Murphy website, which I'll put a link to right now. Go back, and hit the thing. And Two Tone Murphy, where are you? There you are. And you may have to register if you're not already done so. But if you follow this link and scroll yourself down, you'll be able to find this livery. It's been put together by one of the Firefly's very own, Sirius T, and it's available for you guys to download free of charge. All you need to do is just register, and I would, if you've not already done so, highly recommend registering on FS Hub and becoming a Firefly virtual airline pilot and rack up your scores on there too. Hopefully one day Murph will launch the VA onto VATSIM, so we can actually have a VATSIM call sign. So things like Alpaca and Speedbird, we could have our own. Globet would be a good one, wouldn't it, for a Firefly? Globet 2908 reporting downwind for runway 06. Left traffic. Ah, yes. So 1 hour 4 minutes and an hour 15 to go. Lovely. Airspeed's picking up just a touch, which is great. The faster we can get across the ground, the easier it is for us. And we're just monitoring T's and P's, guys and girls. That is literally it. T's and P's, airspeed. You can see there we've got our exhaust gas temps at 930 and our cylinder head temperatures are 304, so we're below 12 and 400, which is superb. Running absolutely on the money. Money, 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 money. Right, so let's get some music on in here, because it's a little bit quiet and you don't want to keep hearing to my voice all day, do you? No, of course you don't. Which one should we chuck in? Should we try this one? Do 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 do. I love the rhythm in this guitar. His palm muting is on the ball. Do 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 do. I'd need to get the tab. Muse fan, if you're kicking around, do us a favor, dude. Get me the tab for this. So if you just joined, thank you so much. We aim to stream Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, Universal Time. We stream pretty much everything. But at the minute we are on our Ferry Pilot series here with Microsoft Flight Simulator and the Asobu team, making this possible. With some amazing views, amazing Kraken, and one country boy student pilot. Beautiful scenery, absolutely beautiful. Da 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 da. What do you reckon? Another one? Yay? Nay? I reckon we do another one. So we are still on course here. We've got an hour journey left, so we're not quite at coffee time yet, or should we say Kraken time, which we already released that bad boy. Release the Kraken! Already got done, dude. Guess I'm a little late to that party then, yes. Guess I'll just go back and have my baby back ribs. Chili baby back ribs. How's the chat, guys? You all good? You're a little bit quiet tonight. Not like you lot. Let's have a look. Oh, connection lock. Really? Really, bro? I doubt that. Yep, I doubt that very much. Not a connection from my side. Guaranteed. Nope, yep. Still 62,000. Let's go in general operations because that's going to reset all my data. Oh, no, it's not. That's good. All right, let's go back. I see that MSFS bug still hasn't been repaired. Get off me screen. Can I see where I'm going? Bright lights, bright lights. So I'm just looking at that overhead. That's either Land Ahoy. Land Ahoy. Here it is. We're getting closer. We need to get geared up for landing. We've got an hour to rock and roll, so let's start. We don't have... Oh, we do have... Let's have a look here and see. Do we have an hour approach? Do we? We do, yes. That takes us quite far out. Holy bejesus. So we can do an RNAV approach. We don't have an arrival, do we? No, no arrival. But we can do an RNAV approach for our aircraft. So 122.1. Excuse me. And airport elevation is 79 feet above sea level. Final approach course is 072 degrees. True. RNAV. Terrain may impair communication between arriving and departing aircraft. Safe altitude within 100 nautical miles, 9,100 feet. All bearings are true bearings. Terrain rises rapidly in all quadrants. And pilot controlled lighting on 122.1. So we'll go ahead and definitely tune that bad boy in. 122.1. I'll give that some flickety flick flicks. See what that does. See if it actually works in the sim. I'm not sure if it does. 122.1. Get back. Twist, 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 twist. All the way around. 122.1. So it looks like we've got Movbo, which is going to be our initial approach. Max speed 140 knots. Ouch. Right, so procedures. Approach, enter. We're going to do B. RNAV B. We want Movbo. There we are. As our initial approach fix. And we're going to hit load. Just checking that to what I have here. That did look absolutely spot on. Max is going to be 140 knots. So we need to make sure that we maintain our speeds and our descent here very, very cautiously. It's going to suggest not below 4,100. So VNAV. And we want 4,100. Get back. 3, 4, and 100. Mean sea level is good. 1 nautical mile. Don't you do it. There we are. 1 nautical mile before. Let's see if it will give me Movbo. There we are, Movbo. So we're going to go Yankee X-ray Papa and then Movbo. But what I might end up doing is just doing a direct to Movbo in a momento. There it is. There's Movbo. Begin descent. You can see there it's telling me to begin it in 40 minutes. We're going to want to descend at about 1,200. It's a nice comfortable descent. It's not too strenuous. And you can see there that's now changed. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go now direct MUFBO. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. VNAV is set, procedures, and activate approach. That's going to now give us MUFBO, or should do. There we are. We should start to, there we go, it's intercepting now. And we'll go back to here. We want 288 on our course indicator. 288. There's 27, there's 28, there's 288. Here we are, perfect. Set heading bug, please. So you can see the bottom one's now tuned nicely. That's giving us what we want. Ooh. There we are. Perfect. And we'll go ahead and set 4,100 on our altimeter. Don't need it anytime soon, but it's there just in case we do. There we are, 4,100 is set. So minima, we're gonna look at here, is 2,440. (2,440 feet), and it's quite a long final that we're gonna have here. Yeah. Okie doke. But we're gonna go in at MUFBO. Then we're gonna have N 8 mile on 410 true. And then we're gonna be turning right to 072 degrees for our initial landing. So let me just go ahead and check weather. Still, so we've got 230 at 3 knots, so we'll still go for 07, mainly because that's just the safest one. And then our missed approach is going to be at call, so whether or not we proceed or not is going to be APMIG, Alpha Papa Mike India Golf, and once we hit that, we're going to be saying yay or nay. So if we're stable, we'll continue. If we're not stable, we'll make a right turn, and then we'll be heading direct back to MUFBO. So that's our initial arrival and approach set. Let's get busy. Back to relaxing. Releasing the Kraken, as they say. So how's the weekend looking for all of you? Any plans? One more day to go. This time tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday again. It's Saturday, Sunday. Almost there. And once I land, I'm going to do a raid. Yes, he said it himself. He's going to try and do a raid. Whether I'll get it to work or not, I genuinely do not know. But I can try. I can try. Let's get that visit. Hit this. Oh, hang on. Share. Nope, I don't want to share the stream. I want to go back into that mixture. Change that from 10 minutes. Oh, okay. It doesn't allow. Oh, so it's 10 minutes only. We'll try it for a period of time. If the bots start attacking me, then the follow timeout will apply. Winds estimated via Charlie Yankee. Okie doke, well, that's fine. Will be right, as they say, will be right. 3017 is going to be our altimeter settings, which we'll set into the standby instrument first, and then transition altitude we'll set pretty much as we start anyway. So in Canadian airspace, I don't believe we have a transition altitude anyway. I think it's pretty much below flight level 180. So let's have a look. Reference, taxis, airport information. Let's have a look. And approach information, RNAV Bravo. Let's see what the transition altitude is. So it's not there, so it's 180. Transition level or altitude, standard pressure region. Oh, okay. Standard pressure region. So we just land with standard pressure. That's new to me. That is very new to me. Cool. Going out in the... Oh, hang on a second. We got some... See, why did that not come up in my chibbity chat up here? Okay, so Matty, it's my father's birthday this weekend, so we are out to lunch in London. Oh, dude, have an amazing time. Whereabouts in London are you going for food? Do you know? And Viper Strike, going out in the community tomorrow and preparing for Sunday's DC3 trip to Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. Oh, dude, I hope they're awesome. I'm not a huge fan of the DC3. Really aren't, unfortunately. Are you going into kind of Soho or where specifically in London, Matty? Oh, my shirt's popped open. How long's that been like that, guys? Jeez, that's horrendous. Oh, that's disgusting. Near Piccadilly. Yeah, me and the wife have been over to London quite a few times. Mainly we'll go over for if there's a big band playing at the O2 or at Wembley. I think we're over there for... Oh, which band is it? Motley Crue. We're going over to see Motley Crue at Wembley again. It's part of my historical recreation that Bretling did in 2017 when they flew one around the world. Oh, awesome, bro. So are you flying all the way around the world, or are you just going to do Kuala Lumpur and Singapore? I'm so embarrassed by that. That's disgusting. That's the wife. Or maybe I am just trying to, you know, increase viewers. Oh, who that man is under there with got his shirt button popped open. It's just popped open again then, so... That'll be the first and last time this shirt makes its face on the stream. Yep, started back on New Year's Day in Geneva and now done 12 legs so far. Congratulations, man. That's pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan. I like a couple of the DC series, but they're mainly for X-Plane. I'm not a huge fan of the DC series in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'll be honest. I believe it's abandonware now as well, which, you know, it's a shame. It has so much potential. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we're coming up to the lands of Canadian airspace. Let the Mounties be there. Customs are aware of our arrival. It's going to be a shame to lose Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. I've had it in my hangar for donkeys. It was one. It never used to be assigned to this aircraft. Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey Tango Foxtrot was assigned to my Phenom 300 in X-Plane 12 and 11, and it's assigned from a real world Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey Tango Foxtrot and a real world Phenom 300, which made an appearance, a very short appearance, on Flight Shops. So I kind of loved the call sign. I thought it was brilliant. I took it and I put it into my Phenom. And then when I was starting the stream for the 310, I thought, what call sign can I do? You know, we're registering it in Canada. It's registered before it's going to run. What can I use? So I looked for a couple of 310s, and then I thought, do you know what? I'm really not interested in those call signs. So I turned around to myself and I said, you know what? Let's take Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey Tango Fox. Let's take it over to the stream. So we did. And this is where Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey Tango Foxtrot came from. But it is a real world, or was a real world. I haven't checked the registration for quite some time. But it was a real world Phenom 300. And as I said, it had a little bit of a showcase on the Flight Shops channel as well. It was owned at the time when I assigned it to my Phenom by a gentleman named, I think it was Omar. And a really skilled pilot. He started off with a Cirrus SR20 and then moved to a TBM 900 and then moved up to the big jets. So how long does it take it? So you started it in New Year's Viper. How long, in terms of flight-wise, have you done per week, say? So I'm assuming it's not taking you from New Year to fly all the way around the world to now. I'm assuming you've been doing other stuff, yeah? "55 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost there. Coffee time." Although, yeah, I don't have any coffee. There ain't no coffee on this. This flight is amenities only. I am Brew 42, Jack Daniels, or Snickers. Nothing else. We ain't got room for anything else. So ground speed 162. Keep that pummeling. Come on, we want a bit more than 162, please. Set course 287. Roger dodge. 287. Rabsy Nesbitt. Yep. Absolutely loved that dude growing up. In his string vest. Can't be a bit of Rabsy. Could never understand what the guy was saying though. As an actor, he was absolutely phenomenal. Definitely look it up on YouTube for our non-UK residents who don't know who Rabsy Nesbitt is. Or the royal family. That was brilliant as well. No, I never did any of this EastEnders, Coronation Street and Emmerdale crap growing up. The bill. That was one thing that my mother loved. The bill. Yeah, the bill. And when we got Sky, when Sky first released in the UK, we got Sky and we got Cops. Oh my god, that was amazing. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Cops. That guy's voice, he must have smoked about 70 a day to get that voice. I don't care what anyone says. I watched it the other day on, oh, what is it? A Freeview channel on TV. I watched it the other day. Cops. Everyone in this channel is innocent and proven guilty. Bull. Absolute bull. Although it wasn't as bad as the Steven Seagal. Did any of you ever watch the Steven Seagal as a sheriff Damn. Steven Seagal as a sheriff. It was like, okay, who did you pay to get a badge? That's all I'm going to say, because there's no way that dude passed any fitness test. No way at all. How far can you run? To the breakfast bar. That's about it, bro. No way. But yeah, it used to be Cops on Sky. That was the main thing we used to love watching. Sky 1 Cops. Or Mrs. Bouquet. But they called her Bucket. Oh, from Ramsey. Where she had the sister on it, and he had a string vest. It was the thing in the 90s, guys and girls, honestly. Look up 90s TV's program. Everybody had string vests on. with holes in it. Right, we're now in Canadian airspace. That's it. We're there. Let's see what Vinav's telling me. Doesn't want to give me it. Oh, for Christ's sake, come on. Really? There we go. Let's reset it. 40 minutes to begin descent for Vinav. Thank you. Shouldn't have to reset that. It should automatically calculate it. Yeah, Rabsy Nesbitt was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And the Late Late Show. Do you remember the Late Late Show? Ali G. That's where he made his first appearance. The 11 o'clock show. Sorry, not the Late Late Show. The 11 o'clock show. Sacha Baron Cohen, his name was, yeah. Gosh, you're taking me back to being 17, guys and girls. Sitting in college at the break bar doing Ali G impersonations. Oh, that drink's too tasty. Way too tasty. In South Park. I miss watching South Park. But what was the other one that I used to watch quite a lot of? Ren and Stimpy show. Jeez, I watched a rerun of Ren and Stimpy not so long back. I think I watched it on YouTube, and I was like, how was this not banned? How was this not banned? Half the crap in it was just like, damn. Ren and Stimpy show. And I wonder why, like, you know, our generation was so messed in the head. But yeah, South Park. Simpsons has been around for forever. The day they pull Simpsons, I think that'll be the day the world kind of stops turning. So, fuel is good. We need to go and check everything because we haven't done that for about an hour and a half. T's and P's are all good and in the green. Cylinder temperatures are fine. Vacuums are within our permissibles. RPM is set nicely and we're cruising with 17 on the manifold pressure, which is within its tolerances. Flight level 160 is managed and we're pushing 50% power. Perfect. And the time we're currently coming into 1:45. Flight time of 1 hour 35 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. We are all good. So on that bombshell, I'll disappear the fabulous face. And we'll do our little song and dance, shall we? Let's have a look. We are now feet dry, ladies and gentlemen. Feet dry. Okay, who put the green screen in front of the pilot's face? All right. So, we are in Canadian airspace and we're over a little place. So, the islands that we're called, it's Baffin Island, believe it or not. So, this is Baffin Island, ladies and gentlemen. Bravo Alpha Foxtrot India November. And I can't pronounce the place we're going to. Unfortunate, my speechy issues. It looks like Pang Near Tung, or Pang Near Tung, and that's about as close to it as I can possibly get, unfortunately. If it is called that, sweet. If it isn't called that, I'm sorry to everybody who I've offended by getting that wrong. But I struggle with place names. Certain words I can't pronounce, unfortunately. But yeah, Pang Near Tung. Papa Alpha November Golf November India Romeo Tango Uniform November Golf. If you can pronounce that any better than me, feel free to pop it in the chat. I'm, absolutely getting it wrong. I know that, but that's as close as I can get to it. But it is on the Baffin Islands, and it's right next to the Pangnir Tung Fjord. So, yeah, an inlet. Off the Cumberland Sea. Is it Cumberland Sea? What's that say? Cumberland. It just says Cumberland SD. So it's the Baffin Bay, the Davis Strait. These are all inlets to it. And they all stem to the North Atlantic Ocean. And they come pretty much just where it looks like, looking through here, it looks like where they join through the Arctic Ocean too, just above it. Does that go all the way up? Yeah, it goes all the way up to the Arctic Ocean, and that's land separation. Yeah, cool. So you can see it here on the map, it's just off to the north. Give me 2 minutes, I'll zoom us out. It's just up here to the, off to the north. And that takes you straight into the Arctic Ocean, ladies and gentlemen. Right then. Just up there. If you keep following that north, it'll take you straight on in. And this here that we can see on the map, so hopefully you can see my cursor. So this region here is the Davis Strait. This is the Cumberland SD, and then it runs into nearer to the airfield. We have the Pangnir Tung Fjord, which is just here on the map there. Just in case any of you want to run these routes yourself. And just an FYI, this is my first time ever landing at this airport. I have no idea what it looks like. I haven't checked it, I'll be honest. I've done a full schoolboy. Didn't bother to check it. Thought, you know what, enough. No, I'm just gonna go land there. I installed the scenery, and we'll go land at it. Said it was really good. We'll see, shall we? Let's have a look outside. We'll get rid of this. Let's get rid of that, please. Nope. Yep, there we go. That's gone. Why does that look like it disappears? Well, that's a bit of an elevation issue. I suppose there ain't a massive data available for this region, but cool. We'll keep looking out this way. We didn't see that, Asobo. Nope, we didn't see it at all. It's just a huge drop-off. So we're 40 minutes from our next waypoint, which is our initial approach fix of Muvbo. And we want to be 4,100 feet at that. Our altimeters, although we do have a local region, actually stipulates to stay on standard pressure. It says standard pressure region. Now I may be reading that incorrectly, but it just says there, transition level and altitude standard pressure region. So that makes things a little bit more okay. Altimeter setting is inches mercury, which is fine. It's not in hectopascals anymore. I may have to research a little bit more about standard pressure region. That's the first time I've kind of come across it. Being in the UK, we always have set, and it's normally set by ATC. So the air traffic control will set that for you. And if you're VFR, it's normally once you're above it, and you'll set standard pressure. But I'm not sure what a standard pressure region is on a Jepson flight chart, I'll be honest. First time I've seen it. I don't know whether to keep 29902 in the altimeter setting, or if I need to tune the local, because we know what the local weather is. 3021 is 3017, correction. It's just updated. Yeah, 3017. Winds 230 at 3, and that's from 1900 Zulu. So, yeah, we're due a change, but we're possibly an hour back, which is fine. We are due a change there. And what's the 15 statute miles for Viz? Minus 20. Damn. Minus 20. We've got to get out into minus 20, ladies and gents. I'm Scottish, I ain't getting into that crap. No, I'll sit here on the heater, I will. Imagine being in a kilt trying to step outside into minus 20. You know. Nah. No, 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 no. No way. Let's check VNAV. 26 minutes to rock and roll. Lovely. So can any of you in chat remember what our speed restriction for Muvbo is? From our initial brief earlier? Do you know what I mean? If it's minus 20 and then you've got wind chill on top of that, Matty, that is damn cold. I mean, it's only a 3-knot wind, but minus 20. Better get the blankets on the bird tonight. Get her in a hangar with a heater running, I reckon. Fuels are good. 36 minutes to rock and roll. And then we'll probably have another 10 minutes from there. So 46 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. And we will be arriving at our gravel airstrip. I have no idea how this is going to go. None at all. I've never landed this aircraft on gravel. And if it's snow covered, is that going to make it impossible to see? That'd be the question. But apparently airport lights are operational on 122.1, so we'll give the PTT 5 clicks and see if that does what it's supposed to do. I bet it doesn't, but you know, we'll give it a whirl. I really want to go to real world time. I really do, but I know it's going to be pitch black, and yeah, that's just death. That be just death. Rabsy Nesbit. Where do you be, Rabsy? Sitting in the back with, you know, his name. He weighs approximately 1 metric ton. Cigar and a pancake. I love that film. Absolutely love that film. I'm going to get some sound audios of them. So I've got a couple here, ladies and gents, and these kind of get assigned to people. And I've got a couple more that I still need to put in. So we've got Shuffle Shoes, who's pretty much just probably still sitting in the chat, watching along, listening. Thank you so much, dude. He's got the Blues Brothers, Rolling, Rolling, Rawhide. And then we've got Giggity, 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 Gah, Quagmire. And then we've got a nuclear warning siren for Airlock Dock. I'm still got to load in Alison Johnson's. And we've got 2-turn Murphys.
Run, bitch! Run!
Yeah, when the bus turns in, that's what I press. We've also got Test Pilot 72. His is You Can Be My Wingman. Bullshit, you can be mine. So for certain members who've tagged along with us here, we've got little few sound bites. So it's just a bit of a way of a give back. And I am looking into having for a stream when we do the next Ferry Pilot series. This isn't the last one. Having some jars made. So this is I'll just try and see if it will show it. This is an actual Kraken mug, an official Kraken mug. But what I want to do is I want to have a mug like this made, and then AITW across here, and then on this side it's got to be laser etched. I want I'm not cool, I'm Ferry Pilot cool, and that's what I'm after. But it's just at the minute it's a long way off because we're still trying to price up someone to do them, and how many jars I have to buy. But they're a special kind of jar for a giveaway for the next Ferry Pilot series, and I don't know whether to hold out and ferry the Comanche, and that's my plan. I want to ferry the Piper Comanche from A to A once it drops and bring it all the way over to the UK, to my home base for the Firefly Airs, and it's going to be based out of Bristol. Echo Golf Golf Delta. So there's the plans, guys. You can, I'll share these with you. But I'm just waiting for Scott from A2A to drop the thing so I can bring that series into effect for you all. And we will bring it over from the States. My plan is to bring it from Washington, DC, and fly it all the way over to the UK. And an aircraft of that caliber flying that distance, we will get to learn very quickly how good A2A do their kit. But that is the plan. As soon as it drops, whatever project I've got running, it will stop, because I've been waiting a hell of a long time for this aircraft to release. So we're all good. No hand flying at the minute. I know it kind of sucks, but let's be honest. This is how a ferry pilot, would bring an aircraft over. You got autopilot. You're going to use it. Reduce fatigue. But can anybody tell me, top of my head, what the airspeed restriction was? I know what it is. I'm just wondering if any of you can recall what I said earlier. Yeah, it definitely will. Matty, if you've never used anything A2A, the best way to describe A2A simulations in this simulator would be take something from Hot Start, so take the Challenger 650 from Hot Start. That is the level of product that we were having in FSX and in P3D. It is insane how accurate they get it, and the fact that they've developed and dropped their AccuSim Mark II simulation engine, it honest to God, it's unbelievable. Exactly, yeah, Ian Fisher 101, 100%, dude, 100%. It really will be interesting how the two simulations, because obviously one's been developed with AccuSim 0.10, and then the new Comanche's been dropped with AccuSim 2.0, which is the engine that they're calling it. He redesigned the entire engine to incorporate it into Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I'm talking to Scott about that, like, okay, what does the engine give you in terms of variability? You know, would it permit you to put, let's say, for example, an uprated CDI engine in there, which, you know, let's say we took the DA50 Diamond engine out of that aircraft and dropped it into the Comanche to make it into a Jet A1. Would your engine be able to work around those physics and say, right, well, this is all your parameters, this is what you would have, this is what it's going to look like? He says yes. These were questions that I was asking Scott, and, you know, those are big fundamentals. And I think for A2A to bolster that claim, and the thing I love about it, and this is something that everyone has to kind of understand, we are so used to seeing rush to development, rush to release, get it out there. A2A have kind of sat on the ballpark. Bearing in mind, we are 3 years in nearly to this sim. 3 years. There's 7 years left according to their proposed 10-year, you know, monitoring and support. I reckon it's going to go way beyond that. I really do. But we're 10 years in. Now, A2A have turned around and said, right, we're not rushing nothing. Okay, they had an issue with their aircraft that they had a gear up landing. But I've been so patient, and it's the one company I've kind of sat on about and said, look, you guys take as long as you need. Yes, we want it. Yes, we want it tomorrow. However, take as long as you need. It's been in beta since January. I'm looking at my watch because I'm looking at the date, not my time. And we're now midway through March. It's still not released out of beta yet. And all they're doing is they're giving it the final stages is giving it the feel. So I think we are in for a seriously impressive product that is going to do one or two things. It's going to either drop an expectation that we've all had from A2A, or it's going to raise the bar for every other aircraft we have in this sim. That is no word of a lie. It's either going to flop and we're going to sit there and go, what the hell happened? This is an A2A. Or it's going to turn around and go, boom. And from the testers that I've spoken to on the A2A simulation forum, they're all saying the same thing. This thing is unbelievable. And in Microsoft Flight Simulator, your level of immersion is going to be insane. But you need to remember one thing. It is designed for real pilots or people who want to fly the aircraft as it would be flown in the real world. Perfect for me, maybe not so for others, and I get that. I also expect it to drop with quite a high price tag. I reckon somewhere between the $80 mark will be what we're looking at here because of the amount of R&D that's gone into this aircraft. Will it sell at that? I reckon it will. I really do. They may shock me and reduce it and bring it in at around about $40 or $60, which is what we were used to paying in FSX and P3D. But I do reckon, me personally, Scott from A2A is going to drop it around about $80. And I'll pay that. Happily. For this sim, I will pay that. I own every A2A aircraft and fly nothing else in GA because they are the best at what 100% Scott. Ian, you will not get a disagreement out of me. Not at all. Not for that. I agree with you. The level that they can put into the sim in terms of engine management maintenance, airframe management maintenance, you can't beat A2A. You just can't. It was so gut wrenching to hear that they had a wheel up landing, because that put a lot of their development back. But at the same time, they then picked up a military contract, I believe, and that took more of their time. But at the end of the day, that is guaranteed payment, and as a business, why wouldn't you? And they then started to develop AccuSim 2.0, and again that put them back even further. But the sim for Microsoft Flight Simulator wasn't where it needed to be, and they were saying, look, we can't bring our engine in, and we're not releasing just for the sake of releasing. We've seen it before. We've seen it with Coronado. You won't get me buy a Coronado product for love and money. I'd rather set fire to $30 than give it Coronado. I really would. And the worst thing is that they had the opportunity to really redefine their brand and get it right for this simulator, and they chose to do what they did in X-Plane 11 and X-Plane 10. Which is just wrong. Really wrong. Anyway, rant over. Let's jump outside. Let's get some cinematic music on. Let's jump outside. I'll disappear my fabulous face. And we'll have a look at this wonderful Canadian scenery from Baffin Island, shall we? Right. So we're getting closer here to our TOD. Let's have a look here. So VNAV are 11 minutes 30. We're 2 hours into our flight time. I had to quickly pop down to the streamer's room and grab myself another drink. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. We need to pour the Kraken. So, it's a good job that there is no one on the ground in customs ready to breathalyze us when we arrive, because they asked whether we were just keeping ourselves warm with a little bit of spiced rum for the flight. Right, so let's chuck that into there. And camera could come on, because we will deactivate the camera. Oh, sorry, we'll turn off the fabulous face once I start to come into land. Let's make sure my buttons haven't popped open. So I've been with A2A since 2003 when they were under the brand Shockwave Productions. I haven't, I'll be honest, I haven't. I joined the military in 2006 and I was flying in the ATC. Sorry guys, I'm just moving my empty cans here. So I was flying in the ATC up to 2000 and I want to say 2004, and then I was working on the railway at the time. I stayed on the railway to 2005. I left that position and moved to an apartment in Huddersfield, and then I joined the military. And yeah, the rest was history from there. And I didn't touch an aircraft. I didn't fly, other than being flown around the world for the military and jumping out of airplanes and things. But I didn't do anything of that in terms of me getting into an aircraft and flying until 2021. And then simulation I got back into in 2015 roughly. So I then came back to simulation, and that was because I'd separated from a partner at the time, the mother of my children, and this was a way for me to kind of focus. And I was teaching long range shooting as well. And obviously when I separated from my partner, I had to stow the rifles and hand the license back until things calmed down. And I've got no dramas to tell, but you know, I'm happy to talk to people about this. It's the safe thing to do. And I then moved from where I was in Wiltshire. I moved further afield, and then I moved over to Wales. I met my partner, and I was still flying simulation, and then I moved away from it. And then in 2018, I'd said to the missus, "Do you know what I want a computer. I want to get back into my flight sim." And she went, "Okay." So I got myself a tiny little screen and a little yoke, and I think I was using a joystick for a while. And now, I mean, I've got a full sim pit at the minute, so things are building quite nicely, but it does take time. I built myself a PC, I put in new monitors, soundproofing and things. This is all new that I've got going on. The new decor that you can see here is me getting it all ready to rock and roll. My plan is to put a green screen behind me, have naked women doing hula hulas. Oh yeah, I know how to bring in the viewers, guys. It won't be this hat for very long. Why's he got a tea cozy on his head? Yeah, he's got a Yorkshire flat pack. Went to London and they were like, "Oh, Peaky Blinders." I'm like, "You don't know your hats, do you, dude? This ain't no Peaky Blinders hat. Not from Birmingham." But anyway, to those that have tagged along, to those that are still in the chat with us, thank you so much. Here's to you guys. Cheers. Oh, beautiful. I think I might have a Chinese tonight with the wife. What do you reckon, folks? Roast up chow mein, maybe with rice. Yeah. She's a very special girl. And where's my Ali? I've not seen it. Has anyone heard from Ali? I need to message her, actually. Alison Johnson, young lady, I hope you're okay. I've not heard from you for a while, and I'm getting a little bit worried. I'll message you soon, because I need to talk to you. So the airfield, according to the map system is over there in a ravine. Why am I getting a little bit antsy-pantsy at the minute and my bum doing 10 pence, 50 pence? Another aircraft, by the way, I'm trying to get access to, not gonna lie, is cows. So cows have been developing a DA42, and I've been talking to the developer on his live streams that he does on his channel, and been chatting to him quite a lot, asking how things are. He's got almost a year's worth of hours developing the code for this thing, and for X-Plane 12, it's going to be the first G1000 update in terms of upgrade since the SR22 and SR20 was launched from Torxin. They were the first developers to really kind of jump into the G1000 and give it an overhaul. He's making it a G1000 NXI because he flies that in the real world. He knows the DA42 inside and out. This thing is going to be insane. How good, I don't know for MSFS. For what I've seen for X-Plane, because he's working on the X-Plane 12 side of it, it's absolutely insane. But it is being released, or predicted to be released, in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm trying to get my hands on it. I really am. But at the minute, it's for pilots who are DA42 pilots, only for its testing phases. And I've given a few pilots that I talk to on Discord, and Discord is an amazing place, ladies and gentlemen, for reaching out. If you know these people and you speak to them in the stream, or you see them in the stream, like Dougal McTavish. Never met Dougal McTavish until both of us started kind of watching Flight Deck to Sim, and then V1 Simulations, and then Murphy. We jumped into Two-Turn Murphy's chat, and Dougal came along. The guys, you know, you will meet like Matty. I mean, Matty doesn't live that far away. Me and Matty could go flying together. And you know what? To be fair, Matty, I think we should. I think we need to get up in the cloud. No cracking. No cracking. And we just go for a flight around the Bristol Channel. What do you reckon? So we're 4 minutes from TOD. Looking good so far. So the first thing we'll start to do is we'll bring the power right back. We'll set around about 13 to 14 on the manifold pressure. We'll leave the RPM where it is. We then want to go ahead and chuck in our fuel pumps. So those can go on now. Fuel's verified on main tanks. You can all see that there. T's and P's are good and in the green. And as we're descending on down, we're going to have to advance the mixture throttles. We can't go full whack right now because in the real world, what would happen is we'd stall the aircraft. But we're getting in there. So which is your favorite aircraft, Mr. Fisher, from A to A? Your favorite aircraft? The one that if all of a sudden stopped working and you couldn't get a fresh download or anything like that, you'd consider giving up simming. That's how I describe favorite aircraft. Which is your favorite aircraft of A to A? Okay, so we're coming close now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to arm it here. VNav, we can see it here. We've got 2 minutes 24 seconds to run. And we've got our checklist here, guys and girls. Very handy 310 checklist. So, descent, fuel selectors both main. We've already checked, they're verified. Auxiliary pumps are on. Just to visually confirm that, we would give them a tap as well. That is set and done. Power as required to keep the engine temperatures in the green. Between 13 and 14 is absolutely spot on. Cowl flaps we will keep closed until we get onto our approach for final. Then I'll open up the cowl flaps. Mixtures are just for smooth operation and gradual enrichment at altitude altitude is lost and then altimeter set. So the airfield says standard region pressure required. I'm going to set one altimeter to what I know the region pressure is, and I'm going to leave the other one at standard. And the reason why is because this is completely new to me. I will be honest, I've not flown into this kind of scenario previously, and 3017 is on my remarks. So let me just jump into Microsoft. 3017 I'm going to set now. So around there. So 3017 is set on my backup altimeter, and we can see that's giving me a difference of 200 feet. So it's not a mass deal breaker. There's the message to tell me I've got to start descending down. So altimeter, and then we go 1,000 feet, 1,200, arm, power back. Bring the power right back because the speed's going to run. And if any of you was watching earlier on, you will know that we have a speed restriction of 140 knots at Movbo. So we then go ahead and set message. We can see we'll clear the message. We'll clear this one because I just don't like things flashing at me. It makes me think I'm doing something wrong. And there we go. Keep that power right where it is, between 13 and 14. Everything's looking good so far. Mixture we're going to start bringing in, but again we don't want to bring that up too much because one, it'll flood or potentially flood the engine and cause it to cut out. Too much fuel and we'll get a bad combustion. But if we leave it too far back, we'll starve the engine, and then either we'll have an engine detonation or we'll end up unfortunately with something a little bit worse than that, which is a stalled engine again. So monitoring your engines with your mixtures is incredibly important for piston aircraft, which is why the DA kind of line where they adjust the fuel mixtures electronically for the pilot, all you do is you just move the throttles, is an absolute godsend. It's, you know, keeping it simple, stupid for a pilot, really. Right, so we can see that we've got this here. We've got on this one, I always set, you can see that I've got it set on terrain. Now, once we get closer into the airport, I'll leave terrain on. And then once we touch down and pull off, I'll set this to just the airport setting so that I can zoom right in, and it'll give me a better indication of what we've got going on in terms of our charts. So I can use that. I'll also turn, you can see I've got my iPad here. I know you can't see it on screen, but I have the airport chart and the approach chart already set running. So we'll be taking the RNAV, or the GNSS Bravo approach. I'm going to be saying 100% it's not going to give me vertical guidance. But we can see we've got Movbo here, and our airfield is just down there on the right hand side, inside that inlet there. So this is going to be incredibly interesting. ATMIG is our decision altitude. Decision waypoint. Once we hit ATMIG, we have a choice. We either abort the approach and landing and turn right, and we turn right to a heading we turn right to direct heading Movbo. So we would go direct, and then we'd set the procedure up and go direct to Movbo, and we try again, or we continue with our approach if we are stable. So I'm just bringing the mixture up just a touch there, coming through 12,000 checks. Speed is a little bit high, so we're going to bring the speed back. Remember, we should be leveling out about a mile from Movbo, and the reason why I've set that is so that once the aircraft levels out, where we are in terms of our power management, the aircraft should start to slow down quite quickly. And we'll have to be quite quick because we don't want to be getting into the stall characteristics of the aircraft. We don't want to be getting too slow. And the reason why we don't want to be getting too slow is we've got to right turn 90 degrees at Movbo, which is our initial approach fix, and we've got to be at 4,100. And if we're too slow, as soon as that 30 degrees of bank comes in, we could potentially stall a wing. So this is where certain aspects of flying, you have to be on the money. You have to really monitor it. And as you can see, as we're descending, our manifold pressure is increasing, and as the manifold pressure increases, I keep bringing it back to 13 and keep advancing the mixture just a touch at a time. Not too much, just a touch at a time. Let's have a quick look outside. This will be the last look outside I'll probably be able to do as we come through 10,000. let me press some buttons here. Buttonage! I know what Murph's on about now. I've got buttons everywhere. Right then. So if you've kept with us for this amount of time, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It's really appreciated. Your views, your follows, your subscriptions are all well received, and I can only thank you all enough. We are taking the Dirty Bird on her top of descent as we approach our initial approach fix of Lovebow. And we're inbound to land at Hang near Tongue. And if I've pronounced that wrong to anyone who's from this region, I'll apologise. Right, so here we come. Okay, so we need to go ahead and bring back the manifold pressure again. We're going to advance the RPM to 25. We'll leave it at 25 for our landing, and we're just going to bring the mixture up a touch. That should start to slow us down quite nicely. Coming through 6,000. Go ahead and crack the cowl flaps. It's absolutely freezing outside, but we don't want to. And you can see there the oil pressure is getting a little bit high, but the cylinder temperatures are good. The oil temperatures are fine. Fuel is exactly superb, but no problems there. If we have to do a couple of circles, we can do. We want one. We're a minute out, so I'm just going to bring the power back just a touch more. And we should, he says, level off once we get to around about 1 minute from our estimated time of arrival. And that'll bring the speed right back, hopefully to 1 minute. There's 1,000 to go, checks. Okay, so we're a little bit out in terms of our time here. See if we've got a vomit comet going on. Yeah, they're not happy about descending past 1,000 feet per minute, but realistically, ladies and gentlemen, it's no biggie. That's a developer's setting. Okay, so we're going to start to reduce our speed now. Here's our level out. That's absolutely fine. There's level out. We need 140. Let's see if we capture it. 10 seconds. There's 150. 7 seconds. Am I going to be just under? Yes, I am. Right. Once we finish this turn, I'm going to go approach flaps. 15 degrees will be set. Here's the turn. There's 15 on the manifold pressure is set. And approach flaps can come in. Go ahead and increase that. Down here, we're going to go and set our landing lights to extend. Remember, we're aiming for the blue line here for our approach. And we want to go ahead now and get the airport lights, if they do work. We want to get those on. So let's set that there. Course indication is going to be 072. Where are we going on here? 072. And that's going to be our runway heading. That can be checked. 072 on this little puppy. Am I there? Nope, we passed it. 072, there we are, that's all set. Okay, so landing lights can now come on. 4100 is set, still running on standard, and we should be 4,250 on region pressure, but it did say region runs on standard pressure in the charts, so that's what we're running. Let's see how we do here. We're not below blue line, which is perfect. That's what we're after. So before landing jet lists, alternate air controls, we want to check that those are in, which they are here. No foul weather today, so they've been all the whole way. Wing flaps down below 158 knots indicated, which they are. Landing gear down at 138. We'll put the landing gear down as soon as we turn final, and hopefully we won't have any issues. Gear down and lights are on, so we'll check for 3 green. Indication lights, check that the unlocked light for the gear is off. Mixtures will go through rich, which will advance there now. Propellers will be full forward. Wind flaps at that point will go to 35 degrees below 138 knots indicated. And the minimum multi-engine approach speed is 94. I'll approach on blue line. I always do. I spoke to a real world 310 pilot, and that is what his advice was. Chop the throttles once at blue line at 50 feet above the runway, and he says you'll glide down, you'll touch down smooth pretty much every time. So I'll take his word for it. Let's hopefully it works today. No issues there. Okay, we're gonna make our turn, and then the gear is gonna come down. I've no idea where I'm landing. I can't see it. It's a gravel runway. We may be going in blind, ladies and gentlemen. Gravel runway. The fear is real.
Run, bitch! Run!
Nope. That doesn't want to give me that at all, does it? Where have you gone now? No, I don't want to be on heading. I want to be on nav. Thank you. Doesn't look like it's going to give me the nav I'm after here. So let's disconnect. I'll hand fly this puppy on in. So 2,600 is what we want to be at when we hit ebb give. I'm more worried about the fact that I can't see the runway here. Okay, so gear can come down. Taxi lights on. Gear in transition. Looks like we've got 3 green. Seeing anything there? The unlock light is off. All we can do is fingers crossed now and hope. No issues on that side, so, you know, fingers crossed, ladies and gents, fingers crossed. I can't see where this runway is. Can any of you see the runway? So we want 2,600 by this landmass here just in front of us. It's giving me 0.72 degrees, true. So I should really have calculated that, to be honest. I'm thinking the runway's just there in front of us. Down there somewhere. But I can't see it. It's saying track. Direct track is 100. Okay. Oh, so we're offset. Alright, that's fine. I can understand it now. That's a bit better. I've just checked the map, so. It doesn't say anything about an offset localizer approach. An offset approach. Final approach course is 0. Got you. So after ABMIC, it's 0. Okay. 7.2. That's fine. A little bit low here. So we'll set 2100. And we'll bring the nose up a touch. Not easy when you can't see the runway. And it says LNAV, but we haven't got it really. There's terrain guidance, so you can see it here. There's ABGIV. APMIC. You see, really we should say, right, let's go around, or, let's like divert. We're gonna try it. We're gonna break every rule in the aviation code. But we're gonna try it. So, landing flaps can come in. We'll just set 2200 on the manifold pressure and we'll leave it there. Maintain this descent rate. It's working for us. Don't need to fix what ain't broken. It's got to be in here somewhere. It's got to be up here. I've just got to find it with the snow, but it is gravel. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a known airfield for crossing the pond, so to speak. 35 degrees, flaps is set, gear down 3 green and indicating. Fuel pumps are on. Parking brake is released. Pressure in the pedals. Landing permission will say we have, and we'll continue our landing. Still can't see the runway. Oh, there it is. Runway lights are on, ladies and gents. Can you see it here? Runway lights are on. Let's get lined up here. We can just make them out there in the white background. Yeah, I see them. Okay, let's bring the power back just a touch. A little bit high here. I want to be 800 feet as I hit this landmass and turn left to 072. Here's 500 feet coming in. Trim, trim, trim. Bring the power out just a touch. Blue line, blue line. There it is. Can you see it, ladies and gentlemen? Can you see where I'm looking? Those white lights on a white background, sure, super easy to spot. Let's see if we can turn them up. A little bit fast. Height's good. A little bit fast. $200 above. Continue. There's blue line, just below blue line. I'll take that any day. Power out, ice to the end of the runway, hold that attitude. Touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. We have arrived. Gently on the brakes here. Gently on the brakes. Can't go too hard. It's snowy and gravel. Mixture and props. We've just pulled back so we don't chop the gravel up. And we'll turn around here. We made it! I'm not gonna lie, I've got sweaty palms. I was gripping, I had death grip on my simulation. What? Skills, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just gonna, you know, big myself up here. Skills. I'll let Quagmire tell me how good that was. Quagmire, how good was it? You know it, dude. Right, so I think we're gonna go in. Have I missed the turn? I can't even see where the turnoff is. I'm not gonna lie, ladies and gents. I think I missed it. Right, let's go back. I think it was there on the right. I don't know. Obviously, we can't see much. It's gravel. I've pulled the RPMs back and I've pulled the mixtures back. Throttle, the flaps are up. I can't see a way of pulling it. Obviously, if we have any issues here, we're a little bit pushed because I can't see anything. Let's have a look at taxi. So if I pull up the airport, oh, it's lit. Well, oh, okay. So apparently, according to this, we were at it where it showed before, which is. You'd think they'd clear this, wouldn't you? It's just here. I'm using GPS-based ground data right now to try and tell me where I am. Thank you, Navigraph subscription. Your information is invaluable at this present moment in time. So according to that, it's here. Okay. Thank you, Microsoft Flight Simulator, but we'll take this here. Yeah. And we'll swing it around. There we go. Set the parking brake. Ugh. How much of a do we, don't we could you have got right there, ladies and gents. Holy bejesus. I can't do it, Captain. I just don't have any power. Yeah. I almost bricked it there, guys and girls. Not gonna lie to you. So, landing lights and taxi lights can come off. Strobe lights can come off. Nav lights can come off. Pitot heat can come off. I'm gonna jump back into the aircraft. And we'll get this baby cleaned up. Cowl flaps are already open. We'll go ahead and shut those puppies. Get some heat into those engines. Turn off the fan. And we're not going to open any windows or doors just yet. We don't want the cold weather to freeze us senseless. Go ahead and turn off these. Avionics master can stay on for the moment. Beacon is on, which is good. Taxi light is off. We'll retract our landing lights. Wait for them to shut. That's the landing lights done. That should be off. And then we go up here. Want to turn that one off. And the autopilot we can't turn off. It's already off. Then go ahead. These are already off, I'm assuming. Yeah, you won't let me turn them off fully, will you? Okie dokie. So avionics can now come off. Go ahead quickly and just set 1000 RPM just to burn off any carbon. Prop can go full forward. Do a quick mag check, make sure we have no issues. No issues there. Power can go to idle, and mixture will go engine 2 off, set engine 1 off, and set. Look at the icing on the window already. Mags can come off, beacon light can now come off. Alternators and batteries to off, and we just want to very quickly go and chuck in our pitot heats, windows covers, sorry, engine covers, and control locks. Quickly check status. How bad was the flight? I'll take that every day. Jump outside. We can see we're buttoned down. All we're going to do is on Tuesday now, ladies and gents. Tuesday, we will be taking off from this place of, you know, almost death. And we'll head on over to our next leg. And just as an FYI, should any of you wish to, it will be 17:30 Zulu time. And we will be flying out on our ferry flight. And we'll be taking off from Charlie Yankee X-Ray Papa, which is where we are now, and we'll be heading over to Charlie Yankee Zulu Sierra. A huge thank you to everybody who has tagged along, followed the stream. It's been an absolute pleasure to do this for you all. I hope you're enjoying this series so far. That will be our next leg. It will be a 460 nautical mile leg. And fingers crossed, you'll all be around to watch that. And hopefully, those of you who wish to, feel free to take part. If you want to take part and you're on another simulator, that's absolutely fine, guys. You can do that. I've got no problems whatsoever, and follow along. Until the next time, thank you so much for your presence. Love talking to you all. Stay safe, and I'll speak to you all soon.
You can do it!
LK2 program, dude. Thank you for your follow there. You caught that just in time. I was just gonna close up the stream, but I can't do that without someone giving a big shout out to that. So thank you for your follow. Really appreciate it. Take care. Have a good evening, everybody. Good night. Hang fire, ladies and gents. We're gonna raid Gripper Sim.